start, you have to, as I said, this is a meetup, so you have to throw in a question or a topic and we can little discuss it and take it forward.
Madhu, you want to join breakout room? Madhu Chandra? That's to know about CoVersity, if you want to know about it.
Yeah, and if anybody needs help in joining the breakout room, let me know. I can help you out. I can put you in the room if that is the need. I think
What
so.
is CoVersity?
Yeah, I want to join the other group.
Right, I'll assign, you can join that room. So CoVersity is basically the kind of a name given to the same open learning journey, which is for the older children, where they get into, exploring their, whatever, let's call it passion areas or interest areas, which they want to convert into professional areas down the line. There's no hurry to do it, but they get into that kind of a mode. So anybody can start. You don't have to start at 13. 13 is just the age where we open it up to more serious, more deep diving into specific areas of their interest. But children can join at 13, at 15, at 18, any age as such. Age is not a specific thing, but it's mostly available for 13 to 21.
So my daughter will be 13 in December and she's been to traditional education. So should I go in that room to understand?
Yeah, I think it will make sense. Yeah, you can go in that room. Yes, it's yeah.
And I want to learn about actually open learning and homeschooling also.
So it's the same thing. It's the same thing for that age group. We're talking because the needs are a little different. They start getting more serious about their what exactly they want to do. So it's open learning only, which is called it CoVersity. You can step into that room. It's the same thing.
Okay, please assign.
Yeah, so somebody else also said that they wanted to know about 13 plus. I forgot who said that. Anyway, whoever else is interested can join that room. Yeah. Meanwhile, here we can start the discussion. Sorry, somebody's speaking. I can't hear you. Your voice is breaking.
How to get into that other room? Into other room.
Okay. How old is your child? Okay. Fine. So somebody has to ask a question. or start a topic. Or maybe let me just introduce for people who have come in for the first time. What is Aarohi? So Aarohi is a community. It's a community of families who are doing open learning. What is open learning? Well, we'll talk about that in a minute. But basically, Aarohi is a community of families who are doing open learning. These families could be anywhere. Actually, geographically, they need not be in the same place. There are families from, let's say, Mumbai, there are families from Delhi, I mean, different cities. And then there are also families even from abroad. So it doesn't matter where you are. What's important is that you want to be part of a community where people are doing, where people are doing open learning or the families are doing open learning. Now, what is open learning? In one sentence, if I say open learning is where the learner decides what to explore, what to do, where to spend time, and what to learn. So the learner designs his or her own curriculum, pretty much as a 1-year-old does. All of us have seen 1-year-olds or 2-year-olds. They are the most amazing open learners because they literally decide what they want to do during the day. When they want to be in the mom's lap, when they want to run, when they want to jump, when they want to play with water, what they want to do. They design their curriculum. But somewhere in a conventional sense, we tend to pull people out of that and say, children out of that and say, no, now you don't design your life. We will design you. Right. So in a way, we allow them to lead their life very naturally, which they do at a younger age, but we stop doing that. And so in open learning, we don't stop them. They continue open learning till, let's say, till they die or till we die. So we are all open learners. I'm an open learner. I decide what I do in my day, in my week, in my month, what kind of stuff I want to get involved. I'm sure So are you. You, as most of your adults are open learners because you are deciding what you want to do. If one of you wants to learn piano, you will go ahead and look up YouTube or join a class or whatever you would like to do to learn that. So you decide what you want to do and how you want to do, with whom you want to do, how much you want to do. If you want to leave piano after 2 months, maybe a couple of people will ask you a question, why did you leave? But pretty much you are allowed to leave not learning piano if you don't feel like learning piano. So that's what is open learning. So whether they are children, young, or children as old as me, 55, we are all allowed to learn and do things the way we would like to do things. And the idea of the Aarohi is that if we have a community, then there are so many people to connect with, to collaborate with, to build things with. So that's what the community does. We meet on an everyday basis. We do things together on a daily basis, even if we are in far off places. And obviously, we have a campus. So some families choose to be at the campus for certain duration. This could be 1 week, 1 month, 1 year, one lifetime. Like Leela is stuck to Aarohi for so many years. She came with a kid long back. I've forgotten when she came. So we get stuck to the community and we just enjoy things together. Yeah, I think I've blabbered enough. Let's hear you all and see what would you like to ask or talk about. Yeah. What me and Leela can do is we can share stories from Aarohi's journey, because there's so many children, so many families in the last 16 years. So we have lots of stories to share whichever stories you want to hear.
My primary worry is that I tend to start things out of enthusiasm and I tend to drop out of that enthusiasm very quickly. So what I'm worried with homeschooling is that I'll enthusiastically start it and give some sense of a schedule or continue doing it, and after that my enthusiasm will drop away and then there won't be any structure, and I mean I'll just ignore their education after a certain point when my enthusiasm goes away.
And
That's my worry.
we will wait for that day, because that day we will celebrate when you stop being enthusiastic about their education. Because in open learning, we are not supposed to be enthusiastic about their education. They are supposed to be enthusiastic about their education. If a child comes and says to me, so when new children come, they often ask, so uncle, what should I do? I said, that's a good question. But I don't know the answer because I can't tell you what you should do. You have to decide what you want to do. And then they slowly start picking up, that, okay, I want to do this or I want to do that. I want to spend time there. So initially they are all lost. I mean, ask Beshaki, her daughter recently joined the campus a few months back. And Beshaki was feeling, oh, she's not doing anything. She's lost there. What, Beshaki, you want to share?
Yes, actually, she has started just now. She has joined from this year from June onwards, but she has started just now, enjoying the thing, and started picking up things, started joining the clubs. Till now, till last month, she was not at all ready. She was not doing anything actually. She was being pushed, but she was not doing anything. But now she has just started.
Right. So to
So you have to be
summarize,
patient.
the key is responsibility. In open learning, the responsibility of each learner is with that learner. It's not with mom, dad, grandmom, granddad, nobody. Not with us. Nobody is responsible for anybody. Everybody is responsible for ourselves. I mean, I'm responsible for myself. Leela is responsible for herself. And Besaki is responsible for herself, and Besaki's daughter is responsible for herself. Now, if we all are responsible for ourselves, in a way, we are also responsible for each other. In the sense, we poke and push and pull and ask and help. Whenever we are together, that is naturally going to happen. We are not going to be isolated, or we are not going to be saying that, oh, get lost, I don't care about you. Not, that doesn't happen. But the most important thing is that the child or the learner becomes the leader of the self. And once they once they realize that, which takes a little time, but very soon it happens, then the ball starts rolling, and then it's beautiful. Even this initial struggle to find oneself is actually very beautiful. If they've not been used to lead their journey, if they've always been told stuff, then initially, yeah, that is also beautiful. So yeah, the key word is always responsibility.
Hi, I'm Krishnali.
Sorry?
Sorry, does anyone else?
No, you can go ahead, but I didn't get your name.
Krishnali.
Krishnali.
Yeah,
Okay.
I'm actually like moving around, so I'm sorry about that.
No
But I have
problem.
a question, and this is the second time I'm joining. I'm also coming for the September and stay at Aarohi.
Sure.
And I'm very curious. So my kids are 4 and 7 years as of now. And what I want to know is, like you said, it's each learner's responsibility. But what when the learners are dependent on the parents to a large extent, in the sense that they may need constant attention, connection, time, or to do things, and when the parents are either working or maybe they whatever the work requires them to travel or not be around so much, how does it work in that way? Sorry about all the noise.
Leela, you want to respond to that?
Yes, so every time the child comes to you, we can throw the ball to the child, like what you would like to do. So I am doing this, you want to join, or what you would like to do. So this is one of the thought where we have seen that children, once they get into their whatever they want to do, and they are just in doing that actually. And every time when they do that and they want to either show or they want to share about their stories, and that is what we have seen, that children, they seek attention to share their whatever they are doing and things like that. So maybe together we can see, like, what time is your time and what time is the child's time, and all that you can for even 4 years can understand, and 4 years can also create time for you. That is what I have seen in the experience working with children.
Where do the boundaries exist here? If I tell my child you can do anything you want to do, then they would want to watch rhymes and screen time all day. That is what they would ask for.
Yeah.
Where do we draw the boundaries here?
See, right now the child's exposure or the availability is few resources, but if we make sure that children there are all many other resources are available. If we consciously bring in different kinds of different things which is easily accessible to the child would also try to explore different things. It could be as simple as when there is a sand for me to play around, or water for me to play around, whatever the child's, maybe it's the observation what the child is interested in. We can see if those kind of resources can also be brought. It's not necessarily the toys and other things. What naturally is available is also the things that which children are intending to try.
Yeah. Also, maybe to also respond in this way to Krishnali's previous question also. One of the key things we do as two very important things we do as part of open learning. The first is we design the day, right? When I say design the day, everybody designs the day. I design my day. Let's say if there is a child, the child would be designing, let's say 8-year-old will be designing his day, an 18-year-old will be designing her day. So each one will put down what they want to do, and we all together would design our day or plan our day, whatever word you want to use, plan, design, co-create, whatever. And in that we will all discuss. So I may say, oh, I want to, I want to work in the garden for 1 hour, or I may say I want to fly a kite for half an hour, or I want to fly kites in the evening, or whatever. I want to do n number of things. I will put down my list and share that with the child. And then the child will share, maybe he will share, I will spend 6 hours on gadget. Okay, that doesn't blow my fuse off, because I know that's his plan, that he's starting to think about his day, starting to think of 6 hours of where will my 6 hours go. That itself is an achievement, according to me. And then slowly they start thinking, and then I can prompt them, hey, would you like to fly kite with me? Or would you like to do this yourself? Or would you like to cook something? Or would you like to play this? Or would you like to play, explore piano? Or would you like to do this? So I can give some options. Or the child I can ask the child, hey, what would you like? What else would you like to do? Would you like to do something outdoors? Would you like to do something indoors? Would you like to do something with water? Would you like to do something with colors? Would you like to do something with this? Would you like? So the idea is we start the discussion. Again, first day it may not happen. Slowly, the children start understanding that they have supposed to plan their day, and then they start filling in their basket with sometimes wide varieties, sometimes few varieties of things. So that's the first thing, which is very important when we do it on a daily basis in Aarohi. We call it planning. You can call it designing or co-creating, whatever. The second important thing that we do by the end of the day is that we reflect on the day. We all sit together and share, hey, how was my day? Oh, I planned this to do. Did I do it? Did I do half of it? Was it difficult? Was it easy, boring? I didn't find this material. Whatever thoughts about it. So I kind of reflect back on my day, and so does the child, and I share my reflection. Right. Again, the idea is not to get child to be an ideal planner and an ideal reflector and an ideal doer. No, that is why it's important that I plan my day and I share my day. So that's how we do in Aarohi. We constantly are planning and reflecting and planning and reflecting. And imagine you do that 365 days into, let's say, the next 20 years. Don't think of a small 1 month, 2 month term. Think of the next 20 years. 20 years into 365 days of thinking about what you want to do, then doing it, and then reflecting about it. That is the journey. Now, it doesn't need to be done mechanically, or it is not something which is like a force or anything. We do it in many different ways. We play with it, we color with it, we splash with it, we do drama on it, we do lots and lots of different ways. But the idea is each one is thinking about what to do, then doing, and then reflecting back. It's such a simple thing, which actually we do for most of us do as adults. We kind of think about our day, hey, what am I going to do? And then maybe by the end of the day, we also think about how did the day go? So this very, very simple process, which is we have been following for the last, n number of years, 16 years, you can call it, in millions of its form, with zero expectations, neither from myself nor from the child. There is no stick that, hey, you wrote you will read for 1 hour. Now, why didn't you read for 1 hour? There's nothing like that. That's for the child to reflect. He may say, I wrote 1 hour, but I only wrote to make mama happy. I didn't actually want to read or write. Right? Okay, so that's also a beautiful reflection. That's an understanding of where the child is. Yeah, and it's such a beauty that the child is able to share that I wrote it only because my mama wanted to write. I didn't want to do it at all. Right. So that's how it all goes.
This is helpful. Thank you so much.
And when we do it at a community level, imagine this is at the family level. Sometimes it gets very monotonous because it's just the same mom and the dad and the children, and it's the same little group. But when we do it at a community level, the beauty is that there are so many people who are planning different things. Somebody saying, I'm planning doodling. You know, what is this doodling? I've never heard of doodling. Somebody saying, I want to do this. I want to write a haiku poem. What is a haiku poem? So there is so much of exposure. There's so much of, oh, what is that? What is that? And then they're sharing their own reflection. And then we realize, okay, we are all humans. It is not just one person, or I'm the one who gets pulled here or pulled there or distracted here. So we find beauty in our dissimilarities, because at the end of the day, we are all similar, though we may have very dissimilar interests and styles. So that's what the community does to us. Yeah.
Hi. Hi.
Yeah.
Actually, people around us started looking aware about us. How did you manage without schooling, without college, without any degree? How did your children, how will they manage in their future without anything? They are starting, keep asking so much questions like this. So we know how we are going to be with this homeschooling, but still sometimes if they keep asking these kind of things, we had some fear. Oh, is it okay? Are we in right path? So we need some guidance, like seniors like you. So can you guide us like these things, please? Yeah.
Absolutely. That's why we are all here as a community. And it's
Yeah.
not the senior junior who will guide you. Somebody who's starting off can come give you an idea, and you'll be saying, wow, this is much better way of looking at it. So it's nothing to do with who has spent how much time doing it, but that's the main advantage of a community. See what happens. I'll tell you a simple thing. If I live in Coimbatore, which you do, right, Divya? Okay.
Yes.
So chances are that the 100 houses around you all are going to school.
Yeah.
Chances are all your 100 relative families are all going to school.
Actually, we have 300 families here. Mostly, we have only 2 homeschoolers in our
There
apartment.
you
That's
go.
it.
There you go. So you
Yeah.
get my point. So you're surrounded by aliens. You are not
Yeah.
the alien, don't worry.
Definitely.
Right.
Definitely.
Now, if you're only surrounded by them and only bombarded with them, then yes, it's you're bound to feel little doubtful. Am I doing even right thing? Right?
Yeah.
You'll check your child's head. Is he growing horns or not? Right? So what we do is that's the importance of community. Now,
Oh,
what
okay.
happens in a community if there are another 50 families like yours?
Mm-mm.
Then you are hearing their stories all the time. They are
Yeah,
listening to,
definitely.
okay, you know what Nivita's child has done, what Pesaki's daughter has done, what Leela's son has done, and so on. When you hear their stories, Leela's son is what, 20 years now. And if you hear his journey, you will say, wow, da, 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 da. No, I'm not saying there's no ideal story. There's no
Yeah.
perfect story. Okay, it's not that Leela didn't have ups and downs. And one season she will lose all her hair, and next season
Yeah.
she will grow back her hair. That's been Leela's journey. So what
Okay.
I'm trying to say is that when we are surrounded also, I'm not saying don't be surrounded by children or families going to school, but when in a community we are surrounded by families who are doing things the way we are, okay,
Yeah. Okay.
then we are at peace.
Yeah, definitely.
Yeah, so that's
Okay.
why when we started our journey in 2007 actually with our daughter, and then
Okay.
we said immediately, hey, let's get a group going. That's very important, and that's
Yeah.
because more than the child, I need the group. Forget the child; he or she will find her own friends. I need more parents to knock
Okay.
with,
Yeah,
right?
definitely.
And then
Actually,
there's
we are
been no
exploring with
looking
them
back.
also. Yeah.
So, and 2008 we formed Aarohi, and there's been no
Okay.
looking back.
Oh, very nice. Very nice. Thank you so much. Thank you. Thanks a lot.
Yeah, the reason why we need community is not to pass our emotions, our stress, our fears to the child, because that energy is they easily figure out what we are passing to them, and all our doubts, all our things. When we have the community to share around, that gives us the direction. It is not that we follow the others' ideas or because we create our own unique way to experience what that suits our family. So every open learning family is unique, and they find their own way that works for them. That's the beauty of open learning. It is open to each family to design their own OL journey.
Thank you. Thank you so much. Okay.
Yeah, hi, I'm Xenia. Actually, I have some questions. I have 2 boys. One is 8 years old and another is 6 years old. So the younger one is still going to school. He's in class 1 this year, but the elder one was having some behavioral issues. And secondly, he never wanted to go to school. Yeah, and because he could not adjust there, he was not able to learn. So finally, like I was thinking of homeschooling for a long time, but now finally I was able to decide. And but there is like a lot of pressure from around. Like we are first of all, we are confused that whether we should start with the second child also, like the 6 years old who is from next year, or should we continue schooling for him and homeschooling for the elder one? And secondly, the second thing that we are actually right now following this because everybody was like, how is he going to take exams, and what board he'll be following, and all those things. So just we are taking some online classes with CBSE board, and every day for 1 hour at least in morning we sit and study maths and English, and then in evening there's one class, then some sports class. But I'm really confused whether I'm doing right way. Is it the right thing that I'm doing? Because he's still stressed. He's still not loving the things he's doing.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So Ziana, that is one option is that we bring the school home, right? Which is the curriculum, so-called curriculum that we bring home. The other option is, which is what we work with, is that the child creates his own curriculum. If a child is interested in learning science or maths, there's absolutely no problem. But if the child is not interested in learning that, interested in learning other things, believe me, there is absolutely no problem. Yeah, my son is 19 now. He has not learned any English whatsoever. It's not no maths, no science whatsoever in his life. He's 19. He's like a perfectly normal person. And possibly he knows enough science and enough maths and enough English to live his life beautifully. Yeah. If he wanted to go into a scientific field, that would have been a different. He didn't want to go into science. He was out and out of sports person. So he played football for 5 years, 7 days a week. That's all. He used to only and only play football. No maths, no science, no history, no geography, no nothing else. Only football for 5 years. And then he left that, okay, because he felt he had enough of it, right? So from the age of 14 or 13 to 18, he played football for 5 years. Now he said bye-bye 1 year back. Now he's totally into digital marketing. And when he's totally into it, he's totally into it. He doesn't do anything else also. So what I'm trying to say is that that's one way of doing it, where people have formed some so-called subject and then given them a lot of value. And the way to give them a lot of value is to give them marks and say, you only if you get good marks in it, you can go ahead. But that's very superficial, right? How much of maths we use in our day-to-day? We don't use maths. We basically use computation, which our mobile phone is good enough to help us with. Right? So what I'm trying to say is that that's that's one way of forming one's education is through a so-called curriculum. I use the term so-called because somebody is called that is important, right? According to us, what is important is what interests the child. And when let's say your son does what interests him, then automatically he will be enjoying it. And when he's enjoying it, think about it, he's enjoying his life. Now, we all parents want our children to have a joyous life. And then we say, yes, beta, you will have joyous life later. First, go through this. Then, and when you grow older, you will have joyous life. But by the time what will happen, we all know what happens. So what we say, the joyous life is not about some particular time of life, but every day, if I can invest myself into doing what I like doing, I'll automatically learn. I learn a lot of things. And then I can use that learning elsewhere. So what my son learned for 5 years playing football, apart from the football skill, he learned a whole lot of things. Now he can apply it elsewhere. He doesn't have to, nobody has to continue playing football, right? But whichever field he chooses, the learning aren't lost. So that's the way we look at open learning. So if you want to explore open learning, we can talk more today. Every Saturday, you can visit us with your boys, stay with us. We have week options. We have some special camps also. So whatever fits you, come over, stay with us, and see how does it work. It works so beautifully because each child wants to do what they want to do. Then we don't have to do much. Then we are free. The whole idea is for us to be jobless, and we do our things and they do their things, and then we all do a lot of common things also.
I have a quick question. Do you have, I saw on the website, the day visits are mostly Thursdays. And then, so any specific reason why not weekends, for example?
Because weekends are off. If you come, whom will you observe? Everybody's off to doing whatever they want to do on their weekends, just like you are free on weekends. So 5 days a week, we are professionals. 6-year-old is a professional, 10 years old is a professional, and they're earning. They may not be earning in rupees, but they're earning in their learnings, right? In their own skills, in their own belief in themselves. So they're earning a lot of things. right? So they are professionals. So all of us are professionals, and we like the weekend break. In fact, I don't even recommend you to come on Thursday. Don't do that day visit. Come for a stay visit. Come for a week. Take a week off and come and stay with us. There are, as I said, different options. And that is more fun because then you will actually be like a community member for a week. And four of you will come. So we will have 4 learners with us. 4 extra learners means so much more fun. We can do lots of things, different things together. Leela though goes crazy when people come to campus because she likes to explore so many different things, and she will be the one who will be running here and there, and oh, let's do this. Oh, somebody's doing this, somebody's doing that. But the idea is to have action, and the action is driven always by the doer, not by us. We don't decide anything.
Okay. Sure, we will visit. We'll definitely come. We have to learn a lot. Thank you.
Or rather, we have to unlearn a lot.
Yeah, I'll
We
learn
have
a
to just
lot.
let go of all that we have learned, and then what is left is us, pure us. Each one wanting whatever they are wanting.
Yeah, open learning is mainly not for children. It is mainly for the adults who needs to unlearn. That is what I have been doing the moment I started working with children. And it's beautiful to unlearn, and it's a beautiful experience to question ourselves, to question our beliefs, and to just unlearn things.
So Kavi Priya is asking, may I know what is the prompt, please? There's no prompt, Kavi Priya. Just jump into the discussion. Somebody is sharing, somebody is responding. You're most welcome to jump in with a thought, with a question, with a topic, or with a response.
Hi, Ratnesh. Yeah.
Yeah, please go ahead. Whoever was speaking.
Yeah, hi, this is Suprita.
Yes.
Anagha Vidhu, that's my daughter's name.
Sure,
Hi.
sure.
Yeah, I'm a silent part of Aarohi. I've not yet joined officially, but then I do follow since long time. So Anagha is entering into her teenage, and she has multiple interests. Like she likes baking, she is into dancing and music, everything. But then I don't know how far CoVersity is useful to her.
So I would suggest you go into the breakout room. That's where they are discussing the CoVersity.
Okay.
Right. I will put you in that group.
Yeah,
and
sure.
you can understand from them.
Sure.
And Kirtika and Sushma are there to kind of assist you. Right. Just
Sure.
give me a moment. I will. Okay, you're logged in as Anaga Vidhu, right? Okay. Yeah,
Yes.
others, we can continue with the discussion while I help her. Yeah.
My parents are teachers in traditional schooling system. So like according to them, like whichever child doesn't go to school, he'll end up as a waste person, delinquent. That is what their thought process is. So like how do you convince the elders, like it's not entirely upon you who can decide how to convince the spouse,
Leela,
how
how
to
did you
convince the
convince
rest
your
of the
parents?
family?
Yeah, so the best person is Leela to answer. How did you convince your parents?
I don't need to convince, or neither they need to get convinced. Only thing I need to be having trust on myself, what decision I am taking. And I need to keep sharing with them. This is what making me to take this decision. And I am trying out this option, and I'm looking at it. So the entire journey we have been sharing with parents what is happening and how he is doing and what all is happening, and they are there. It's not that if my parents are educators or even whatever they are, but most of the parents, they know one kind of structure, that where you go to school, they earn a degree or certificate, and then you go for job. That is the one path which they know, and they have been seeing that as a path for success. But here what we have been seeing, and that is, this is what there is another part which the child is deciding, the child is exploring their interest, and this is what I believe, and I am going ahead. So the entire conversations have been shared with the parents. This is what we are doing. And we are also trying that, and the moment they see, we all, either grandparents or parents, we see the joy. We all like to see our children to be joyful in their journey and learning. So when they see that, they automatically, whether they're fully convinced or not, but they are seeing that journey and they are witnessing it. That is what it helps.
So I'll relate a little incident. We were traveling in a train. That time my son was about 8 years or 9 years or 10 years old. I don't remember the age. And there's one elderly gentleman who was in our, little space that we were in the train. So for some reason, he asked my son, "Do you know what is a pronoun?" or something like that, some grammar thing. Now my child has no idea. He doesn't even know ABCD in that order, literally, because you don't need ABCD. You don't need to learn ABCD in that order for anything. So he said, "I don't know," and he started giving him lecture. If you don't know what is this, then how will you learn in life? He said, "Uncle, do you know what is what is a catamaran?" That the Nolan was lost. What is this? Do you know what is a double hull boat? And then my son pulled out his sketches and showed what is this and what is the hull and how does this boat works. He was totally into boats at that time. And what happened was ulta lecture of him telling uncle about everything about these boats and how he was excited. And by the end of the journey, the grandpa, I'm just calling him grandpa by his age, he was like an awe. He had forgotten all about proper nouns. Because everything was verb for my son. He was only making these things. He was into designing boats and he was into floating them and all kinds of stuff. So I think we need to let the children take care of the grandparents also. We should tell them, "Boss, your grandparents are worried. Now you take care of them by showing them what you are doing and what you are learning." And I think they will take care much better than we can.
Yes. Yeah. Absolutely.
There are some courses, at least in India, at least, which require a formal school education. So, say we are doctors, and I'm not asking my children to be doctors, but suppose they, out of their own interest, want to become doctors, then
They can give
they
exams and
need
they can
a.
become. That they will do.
Okay, all
If at that time they feel like we had one boy, Imad, as part of Aarohi. He's still very close to Aarohi, but he's much older now. So he suddenly at the age of 17 said that I want to become a pilot. Okay, now for pilot in India, you need a 10th and a 12th for these pilot certification, the training institutes. So he realized that, he found that out, he realized that, and he started working. So he had not studied any 8th, 9th, 10th or whatever, but in 1 year he studied everything and he gave 10th and he passed the 10th and then he started preparing for his 12th. And by the time he could reach preparing his 12th, he met enough pilots to decide that he does not want to be a pilot. And then he left all of that and now he is into setting up his own. And now it's a little different story. This is I'm talking about 5-6 years back. Now he's 21, 22. Now he's setting up his own clothes business, sports clothes business, whatever. So what I'm trying to tell you is that, yes, so when they get the energy and when they know that they need to give an exam, then it's their reason to give an exam. Then they'll figure that also out. There's no big deal about it. In 1 year, there's so many examples I can give you from Aarohi. Advik gave in 1 year. Leela, so many names, so many names coming to my mind. So many children I'm talking about who just studied for 1 year to give their 10th.
Yes.
And 12th, if they wanted to give for some reason. And so many of them finally abandoned it, meaning they gave these 10th and 12th and never used it.
And children who have passed these 10th exams, Advik, so he just, that's the uses, that is for the sake of the certificate which my family wanted it and we have given it. That's it. That's the value of it. They don't even value that certificate. It is what, and they know these, whatever is in the books, they know much more than what is there in that. And he, at least Advik, though he rejected college, he went for a week and then whatever I can learn in a month, I have to struggle for the entire year. I don't want to waste time, and he came back. So that is how children are capable of learning.
Do you also have any such programs like emotional intelligence for kids?
Good you really asked that question, because see, if you realize we don't use maths in our day-to-day life, we don't use science in our day-to-day life, okay, but we use millions of our emotions. Okay, both use and lose them. Right? But in nowhere in our education, anybody talks about emotion. Everybody talks about science and maths. Right? Like today only somebody posted, is there an Olympiad for math and science? I said, why isn't there an Olympiad for emotions? Who will take care of my emotions? Who will understand my emotions? Who will understand myself? So that is exactly what open learning invites one. That when you start saying nothing is more or less important, the real hero of your movie is you. Now you have to understand yourself. That's where the reflection, you remember I talked about reflection? So every day you plan and then every day you reflect, or every week you reflect. That's where you talk about how was my emotions, what emotion is telling me, which emotion is helping me, which emotion destroyed me today, and so on. So not just emotion is one part of life. There's so many aspects of life, our social relationships, right? Our whole understanding, our values, our strengths, so many things. So what constitute us? So we get time to work on us, focus on us, because we realize finally these subjects is not what will work in our life. It is I who will work all my life.
Yeah.
Right? You don't use maths, you use yourself, your own intelligence, your own thinking, your own emotions, your own style of working, and so on, your own hard work. So that needs to be developed. And who will develop that more than you yourself? Right? So open learning. Yeah, please, Leela. Sorry.
Yeah, sorry. I continue. I thought I will share one video about that. So is that fine?
Yes, please.
Just give me a moment. Just a minute. Stop share.
Yeah, so while Leela is pulling up, as I said, that is why these are very simple things. The whole thing about planning and then reflecting. The whole thing we call as co-creation, because we are co-creating our days, and in co-creation we help each other plan. Then we even work together, collaborate with each other, whether we are parent, child, or two children, or community children and adults. And then in the reflection also we co-create. We help each other reflect back. I can point out, hey, you are saying this, but you are doing this. So like that we help each other reflect also. Yeah. Leela is sharing some video.
Yes. How a 6-year-old sharing about the emotions.
Leela, we can't hear the volume. You have to, when you're sharing, share
yes.
Audio, computer audio.
Give me a moment.
That was quick, Leela. Where did you pull it out? I told you, Leela is our excited person. She's always all over the place and with all children. Yes.
Can you hear?
Starts now.
This is how, as a community, we were all exploring emotions. So here, a 6-year-old is sharing about emotions.
Yeah, and this is part of our reflection.
Yes.
My dad figures it's just different feelings. The movie Inside Out and Inside Out 2, I've watched that and it's the most close to heart movies in my life. So like I just remembered joy, sadness, anger, and from that. But I don't know how to draw the exact things. So I use my imagination. Like days I get like really like, oh, this racket is like, no, I cannot reach this. No, like that, and I get anxiety and And one feeling we missed is uh, something related to joy is that some reward. No, okay. I got joy and mostly every day because when I come from tennis, like also my sweat is a reward for me that what I did, like I am and like I did hit there's so much shots and like that sweat also is like a reward to me.
Yeah. One more I can share about
Hey,
children.
Leela, it's 6 o'clock,
It's
6
amazing.
o'clock. Yeah, we'll pause here. Thank you. Right. So
So
that's
this will be our
yeah. Go ahead, Leela.
this will be our weekly, how we all together come together, we share our journey of the week, and also on Mondays we do plan the entire week what we all would like to do it. So each one of them come up with their list of things, big list of things what they would like to do, and they plan this, do the structure, and then they do it. And we reflect not only just emotions, we also reflect our whatever were the struggles in doing, how we progressed, and how we are growing in each step. So there are different, like how Ratnesh was telling, thousands of ways we reflect and we do plan things. Yeah, Ratnesh.
Um, and this boy is living in Surat, no? Surat or Ahmedabad, somewhere in, I keep forgetting the cities. So as I was underlining that the community everybody doesn't need to be in the same place. Yet we are all very connected. We are listening to each other. You could see in that there were children, there were adults, and they were not even his parents. They were not even there in that session. So we are all connecting with each other, listening to each other, understanding each other. Um, and and I think that's the most beautiful thing. In fact, I tell people very frankly that if you want to learn parenting, work with other children. Okay, that's the best way to others' children. Because with our children, we get so microscopic. We want to see everything, and then we want to see a perfect child in that. I'm also in the same boat. But when we connect with all the other children and we're spending time with them, and our children are spending time with other children and other adults and even grandparents, it becomes such a beautiful journey that we don't need to kind of think about, hey, what next. We are totally enjoying what now, and that is what is the real reward of being in a community. It's about now, it's about doing what I like doing, enjoying. And as the children grow, which is the CoVersity group, which is in the breakout room, as they grow, they themselves become slowly 15, 16, 17. My son got serious at 18. Okay, I want to do this in life. Okay, when they decide they want to do this in life, there's no stopping them. Much like it wasn't a stopping for us. When we decided what we wanted to do, I'm sure we ended up doing that. So they're pretty much the same. And even if they need to learn anything, so it's not like any skill or a particular concept needs to be learned at a particular time. I can learn pronoun when I am 40 years old. I can learn whatever trigonometry if I need it at 53 years old, or whatever I need to learn at whatever age. It just doesn't matter. What matters is that I may want to learn something. Yeah, so we will, Leela has pulled up another video. Okay, so as a discussion, we typically keep it 5 to 6, though I would allow Leela to show some videos since she has pulled up one more, right? Yes, Leela. And then we can kind of close for today. I just want to finish by saying that we meet um, every Saturday, so you can come in with your doubts, with your questions. If your neighbors are asking you, if your grandparents are asking you, whoever is asking, or your own mind is asking you, please come interact with us. I will also paste the link of visiting campus, so please see if you would like to visit us and stay with us for a week, just to understand this better. And if you would like to be part of the community, either from home or from a campus, or a combination where you keep coming to campus whenever you feel like, all the possibilities exist. Yeah. So that also you can explore. So Leela, you can start, and I'll paste the link in the chat. Yeah. Thank you.
Yes, Ratnesh. Yeah. I think this child was around 6 or 7 years old when she was part of the campus. So she has planned her day. So we were asking her, how did you decide about what you want to do? So that's
Small poison, and then eat dinner, then thought club, then entertainment, and then go to sleep.
How did you decide that you want to do all these things?
I just pick up few things to do and then I add them in.
Like how do you pick up?
A few interests which asks me to come to them.
Okay, can you talk a little more?
Like few interests which I like to do.
Like?
Digital drawing and art. Like that.
And how are you planning to do that? Digital art and what else did you say? Art.
Yeah, digital drawing and theme club and art.
So what all you're going to do in that?
In digital drawing, doing focusing on the designs mostly.
You were saying something about the line.
Yeah, I'll just pause here. Yeah. So it's so beautifully the child shared that I decide what brings joy in doing to me. So that was a beautiful sentence. So each child, when they decide what brings joy to them, it's so beautiful to see their journey.
Okay, thank you. Thank you, everybody. And as I said, you can always WhatsApp us if you have any questions. You can ask questions in the group and you can plan to visit us. So
that was wonderful talking to you. Thanks a lot.
thank you. Bye-bye. Have a nice
Thank you.
weekend.
Bye-bye.
And stay connected. Yeah, bye-bye.